Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are doing the Shrine of Secrets review for the 28th of September 2022. Feels like this year's kind of flown by, because every time I look back at these Shrine reviews, I realize how long ago it was that I did them, and that's pretty cool. I'm still happy with this series. If you guys want me to change anything about it, or anything like that, you can let me know, but I feel like it's going pretty well, so I'm just gonna stick with the formula, I think. I think we're going to get started. First of all, we have barbecue and chili, which is a cannibal perk. This one's pretty infamous because it used to give you a lot of blood points, but they have removed that part now and just have it so after you hook a survivor, all the other survivors' auras are revealed to you for 4 seconds when they are further than 40 meters away from the hook. So basically, you hook someone, and if they're quite a distance away, you see their auras for a bit, and it basically gives you a sense of direction to go after you get hooked, after you hook someone, sorry. And I feel like this one's still good. I will admit, it feels like a lot less people are using this after the blood point thing got removed, because it used to be once you hooked everyone in the match at least once, you would get like a blood point bonus, but because of they've reduced the grind and everything, they have removed that part, so it just does the aura part, which honestly is still good. And to be honest, that's probably the main reason I used it before, because blood points, if you're using barbecue chili or not, blood points are always easy to get in this game. So I always used it to give myself that sense of direction after I hook somebody. And yeah, it feels like people don't use this anymore, which is a shame, because I will admit, I still think it's a great perk, because like I said, for a time now, but you hook someone, you often don't know where to go, but this one, it shows you someone far away, if they're healing, doing a gen, going for another rescue maybe, things like that, or if they're just like behind a barrel somewhere, which happens. You know where to go, and you know where to go and get more pressure, get a down, things like that, or interrupt something. I will say I'm probably a better fan of Thrilling Tremors. It does a similar thing, kind of, where it kind of gives you information in the distance when you're in the process of like carrying and hooking. But this one is still good. I feel like this still has value, and I feel like people need to, try see that value a bit more. I still think this perk's really good. Next up, we have Deathband, which is a executioner perk, and this one was probably out a month ago, if that. I remember literally just talking about this, so I will be brief. When survivors heal each other further than 32 meters away from you, once the healing is done, they scream and reveal their location, and then if they split up, they will both become oblivious for 60 seconds. I don't think this one's that great. I've said before that there's a few killers that I think can get some value out of this. Doctor, because Doctor can know where people are close to him with Static Blast, and this helps him to find people who are far away with this perk. And also Oni, because it's good for finding blood pools to get your power back. You know where like people have been healing, so you know there's a bunch of blood orbs around there where they screamed. Other than that, I feel like this is a pretty weak perk. There's definitely much better tracking perks, and I think unless you're playing those killers, and even then, like there's better things to use, to be honest. Survivors don't really care about the Oblivious. They will just split up anyway if it benefits them, and they won't really care about Oblivious. And if you're in a chase of someone else, them being Oblivious doesn't really matter because you're in a chase of someone else, you know. So yes, not great. Next up, we have Diversion, which is a Adam perk, and this is the Pebble perk. Basically, once you're in the killer's terrorist for a bit, the perk activates. It's like Stakeout. You get this perk, and you get a Pebble, and you can throw the Pebble when you crouch, and it basically makes a loud noise notification and scratch marks, as if you would like just forward something somewhere else. I feel like this perk's really fun. I feel like that's the main thing, is that you literally get to throw a pebble. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? You know. Um, so I feel like it's fun in that regard, and it's easy to get because it is like Stakeout, where you just have to be in the terror radius without being in a chase. So it's always easy to get. However, killers are not stupid, and they will realize if you have this perk. Sometimes even on the first try, they'll realize that there's just scratch marks in the middle of a patch of grass, and they know there's probably no one there. And even if they don't catch on the first time, if you keep using it, they will realize, and eventually they will ignore it. But you might get it once or twice. You might get them to just walk off and have a look. But other than that, I think it's kind of like head on, where it's just mainly just for like a bit of fun and just like a little niche thing you can do. I don't think it's like very good per se. I think it's just like entertaining because you throw a pebble. It's funny, So not bad. It's all right. It's good like once or twice, but probably not that, to be honest, because like I said, killers can catch on. And finally, we have Tenacity, which is a tap perk, and this one lets you crawl faster, and also lets you what's it called? It lets you recover at the same time, which you can't normally do. You normally can just hold on a second. Crawl 40% faster and recover at the same time. Grunts of pain while in the dying state are reduced by 75%. I did not know that. When did they add that? Okay, I knew they did it so you could crawl faster and that you recover at the same time. I didn't know they changed it so the grunts of pain get reduced. That's when did they add that? That definitely is not always there. Okay, sorry, I just had a realization mid-video. Yes, okay, anyway. Yeah, tier 3, it's 50% faster crawling speed, and you can recover at the same time, which you can't normally do. I think that's pretty useful, to be honest. It just helps, even if you're not using a slugging build around this. I think it's just good to be able to get away from the killer and recover, so that when a survivor comes, they haven't got to heal you the whole way, because you've been crawling. Although you will see people use this with flip-flop and unbreakable and all that. But for like by itself, it's not too bad. I think it's just nice to be able to do that. But of course, there's the problem with every slugging perk where it's like, if you don't get slugged at all, then this doesn't do anything. But I think the point of this one is that you're meant to kind of try and crawl away, especially with this grunts of pain thing, which I genuinely did not realize they added. But I think the point is that you're meant to kind of start crawling away while the killer's like doing their weapon animation and everything, and if they have to go around like an object to get to you. I feel like the point of that is to kind of like get in some tall grass maybe and kind of lose them a bit, and then someone else could come and pick you up later. I guess. I don't know. I haven't used this perk for a while, but honestly, the 50% crawling speed is crazy. It's so good. I think it's really underrated in that sense. Like the crawling speed is really fast, and obviously you get to recover at the same time, which is also cool. Okay. So for perks, I think you should buy. I think barbecue's a must, because even though people would recommend you this for the blood point bonus, they obviously don't have that now. But I think this perk is still good because, even if I don't use barbecue, I hook someone and I don't really know where to go. Unless I'm using flame tremors as well. But like, this perk is so great to just keep the ball rolling if you're doing really well, because it lets you just go find someone else, and then you know where there's someone to bother. If there's a gen, anything like that. Again, like what I mentioned earlier with like healing and things like that, it's just good to get some interruptions and pressure. Deathband, no. Even if you do play Doctor and Oni, I would say no. This is definitely better like tracking and information perks. Diversion, if you're interested, like I said, I don't really think it's like great. I think it's just more like memes, you know what I mean? So don't expect to like absolutely bamboozle the killer or game if you use this perk, because you won't. Unless it depends on your like grades and everything, I guess. Maybe some killers will like keep going to it. Especially if you try and aim it in loops, then that might actually get them, because they think you might actually fast fault. Just try not to do it like I said, in the middle of like an open area, because they're like, well, what even made that noise other than a pebble? And Tenacity, I think it is kind of underrated, but like I said, I just think it's a bit too situational, so I wouldn't really recommend like bringing it. I think it's just good in concept, but like I don't really use it a whole lot, and I wouldn't really use it much anyway. Especially this grunts of pain thing, I think that does make it better as well. But like I said, I think it's just a case of getting the value out of it and getting slugged. Sometimes you can have whole games where you don't get chased. Sometimes the killers just stay on one person, if that's tunneling or if the person is just looping them really well, then you know, you're not going to get any value out of this. And then you got a perk slot that's not doing anything. So yeah, guys, that'll do it from me. Hope you enjoyed. I'm going to see if I can maybe make a video this week or next week. Maybe just another killer gameplay. Because I think the P2B came out yesterday for like some Mori changes and stuff. So I might see if maybe do a video on that, or probably just killer gameplay because that's fun. That'll do it from me. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next one.